Hi, everyone. This is Gandhimati Balaji, your mentor from Skill Edge. Welcome you all to yet another session. Today, let us just discuss about because what is happening now after the pandemic. That is during pandemic. We all know these sufferings. It has happened for human lives as well as industries. Every part of industry has got affected. So, let me just open the today's topic, like where have to start is it post pandemic? Okay, let us just go both very positive, like what is the sales scenario post corona? How was it actually? How it has impacted the lives, and also how it has hit the sales, the manufacturing sectors, and how we are surviving now in our present economy, how it is going to take up, and how it is working out even now. Let us see that little bit detail. Okay, so the COVID pandemic, if you want me to start, the COVID-19 pandemic, it forced the B2B buyers and sellers to go digital in a massive way. You all will accept it because we all talk about digitalization. We all talk about online classrooms. We talk about everything online. That is what happening now. And that is what happening in sales too. What started out as a crisis response has now become the next normal, with big implications from for example, for how buyers and sellers will do business in the future. Everybody was thinking that how it is going to happen, what this pandemic is going to do now, especially in the year 19 the end of 2019 and 2020, the beginning, we were all like a fish out of water, that what is next, आगे क्या होगा, kaise chalega hamara economy, will that it's going to be doomed. Every such negative thoughts were appearing in our mind, and we don't know how to proceed further. Sales have seen a sharp decline due to travel restrictions, social distancing, that is social distancing restrictions on sale of some commodities, and customers restoring to budget cuts and putting projects on hold. All these were happening, and everything went suddenly online. There is a paradigm shift from offline to online. So companies are struggling to recover the fixed cost in the absence of revenue generation due to sharp drop in sales. आगे कैसे business chalega, how to do further, how to proceed further, all were a big question mark at the time. We don't know how to proceed with everything. So the pandemic really upended the lives and livelihoods across the globe. I'm not talking only about India, across the globe, forcing the consumers and businesses to adapt new digital behaviors. If you take online classrooms, the kids from pre-KG, for example, from KG to 12th grade, they need to adapt to this new technology. Already the advanced level, it is okay, but think about the pre-primary and the primary levels. They are forced to use the online gadgets. They have to use the mobile app. They have to use the laptop. They operated, they learned everything. Even the teachers, they have been trained how to use the whiteboard in the Zoom or in the Microsoft Teams or in other apps, how to just proceed further with this online classroom, because we cannot stop education. We cannot close the schools. So it was happening. Everything was online. So homebound consumers, they abandoned this ingrained shopping habits, hurtling e-commerce into hyperdrive and compressing a decade's worth of digital adaptation into 100 days. So businesses also, they responded to the digital first marketplace by quickly pivoting and innovating to find new ways to connect with new customers, because we have to try to make them understand. That is one important task. How to make them understand that we are also online, because when we are doing shopping, when we were shopping offline, it was like we were going for shopping. It was very nice. But now those who are doing the window shopping, or those who are very much comfortable with, they love this online things which is happening, stuff which was happening, and they were very comfortable. But those who used to go out and do that, who want to have that physical things, where they want to see everything and select. That part also, every online Shoppies or online, what is the e-commerce platform, it paved the way to, and it has benefited to the max for these type of consumers. If you take the Bombay Stock Exchange, the Sensex, and the National Stock Exchange Nifty, at the Bombay Stock Exchange, there is a drop in the Sensex index to 13.2% on March 23rd, 2020. It was the highest single day fall after the news of the Harshad Mehta scam. That is in the year April 28, 1991. After that, this was the major hit. Similarly, Nifty also, they has also declined to almost 29% during that period. Some economists even, they have considered the impact of this COVID, how it is going to have an impact, how it is going to affect that. So Nifty, when it is declined to almost 29% during the COVID period, some economists, they consider that the impact of COVID-19 on the Indian stock market as a black swan event. What is this black swan event? It is the occurrence of a highly unanticipated event. We don't know, it is unpredictable. Unanticipated event with an extremely bad impact. That is what we faced in COVID period. Due to the lockdown policy which has been adopted by the government. During the lockdowns, it is like the economy is fully under, they don't know what is happening, when it will recover, all sort of such things were happening, and that has been declared as a black swan event. So due to this lockdown policy, because the factories also, they have reduced the size of their labor force, as well as production level, which disrupted the supply chain. Again, because of the uncertainty prevailing among mankind, people also reduced their consumption habits, leading to demand side shock. If you take the studies, they have also found that the entire previous pandemic had affected only the demand chain, but this COVID-19 pandemic has affected both the demand chain and also the supply chain. So this was the major impact. So the post-COVID, if you take the recovery in India, it has been led by the sectors such as the digital infrastructure, services, healthcare, metallurgy, and even construction. Is that India recovering? How they are doing good? Is that they are experiencing a big explosion, or they have come out of that explosion? India is experiencing an explosion in fintech, financial technology, with innovation in financial products and services. India has the highest adoption rate for fintech in the world at 87%. Keep it in mind. Policies that have enabled this growth are the Digital India Initiative, a conducive policy environment. In addition to that, also the sizable talent pool. It was led by the giants like Amazon, Flipkart, even we can say this Myntra, and the list goes on. Especially if you take this one, India's e-commerce, it promises to grow exponentially, especially in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities that have shown high consumption patterns over the last 2 years. There were also a record number of initial public offerings, IPO, this year, especially for the Indian startups and the unicorns, such as, if you know, the food delivery app, Zomato, payments giant like Paytm, and the fashion e-commerce platform like Nykaa. India, it saw the 44 new startups, which really turn into the unicorns last year, with Indian startups receiving a capital inflow of $39 billion in the 2021. So if you take the other potential growth sectors to watch out for, especially if you take the construction industry, where the government is seeking the foreign investment to modernize infrastructure, develop smart cities, improve transportation, and build an affordable housing. And electronics, if you take electronics, design and manufacturing, which is one of the world's fastest growing industries. In India, it is projected to a valuation of some 400 billion US dollars by 2025. And if you take the automotive sectors, it is expected to emerge the third largest automotive market by volume by 2026. And e-mobility is also likely to see a major expansion and in the investor interest, especially given if you take the uncertain future of fuel prices this year. It's going up and down. And if you take the healthcare industry, the ongoing, that is when we were in the COVID pandemic, it has also highlighted India's underserviced healthcare market, which is now seeing some investments. A good show directed towards research and development, medical devices, online medical deliveries, teleconsultations, and use of technology and pharmaceuticals. Everything were online, and it was being so comfortable now. So it is in hybrid. So research shows that COVID-19 pandemic, they accelerated the pre-existing issues in the supply chain, and they brought the priorities, especially the visibility, resilience, and digitalization to the fore. I repeat, the research now we have, it shows that the COVID-19 pandemic, it has accelerated the pre-existing issues in the supply chain. I want to highlight that. मुझे जो stress करना है इधर supply chain के बारे में. So the existing issues which was there in the supply chain, and also it has brought the priorities such as what? Visibility, resilience, and digitalization to the fore. But if you take some sectors, they were hit very hard by disruption. There were some winners. Losers are also there, but there were some winners. We need to say that. Notably, if you take that life sciences. But across the board, if you take protecting, retraining, and reskilling the workforce, it is a major priority, along with investing to make the autonomous supply chain in reality. If you want to make that supply chain a reality, this was the major cause. So this protecting, how to retrain it and reskill the workforce, it is all the major priority we need to give. That is, it comes under the priority list number 1. So they are considered as a major priority, along with investing to make the autonomous supply chain a reality, come true. So the researchers on decision makers, based on the decision makers' behavior globally across industries since the crisis began, reveals that the big digital shift is here to stay, and rest is history. What is that you're seeing right in front of me? You're all having this digitalization around the globe, not only in India. I'm talking about the world as a whole. Despite the pandemic and the world facing new challenges of the impact of war, the outlook for the Indian economy, it always remains positive. On the globe also, now it is ever throughout the world, if you want me to say, the same thing happening. The economy remains positive. Maybe in some parts of the country, still they are recovering. India's growth remains the highest among all major economies, and it continues to be in a very strong position to withstand the global challenges. What is that we can say, and what is that we can say less? This sales scenario post-COVID, it really takes the the entire world into digitalization, and people, those who are really, that is how they want to increase the sales, what are the various means to increase the sales, how to enhance their marketing skills, all this were happening, and the world has been, we have to accept that it was merely shaken by this COVID-19 pandemic, with nearly every life and industry affected. The sales were affected, and every governments, we have to thank them. Governments are working to keep their citizens safe while economies are struggling to stay stable. Now, This post-pandemic has really created a positive impact, and small businesses even around the world, they have been challenged financially, being forced to adapt new forms of selling. So what is that we can say is they handle several ways and several means that how they can go in for and save their economy. That was a talk, and that has been really done by major developed countries, no need to say, but developing countries like India, we also faced the challenges and we are facing the challenges and proving that we can also do online. Digitalization been accepted and it has been taken our Indian economy to the heights. Starting from, if you take the manufacturing sectors, the supply chain sectors, the edutech industries, no need to say it has done wonders, edutech. Offline to switching from offline to online. Teachers been trained for that, and they have been done the wonderful job. It's been appreciated by parents and also the students community. Students also, they learned this new technology, they adapted it, and the same way fintech industries do. So as maybe the COVID-19, since it has been a very challenging one, by meeting new customer needs, communicating regularly, planning effectively, adjusting to marketing strategies, and focusing on SEO, the business, and to make out how to make out this difficult situation. All that has been done effectively by almost all the sectors of our economy. It's not that nothing been stopped. Everything was going smoothly and everything was under the control. We need to say that. So nothing been, if we say that the impact on our economy, society and future has been so significant that experts believe a historical divide has occurred. Now, after this, that is the post-pandemic period, sales engagement space revenue grid has conducted research into the sales pipeline before and after COVID-19. We analyzed the data from over 500 B2B sales teams, examining inbound and also the outbound cycles, activities, and dynamics that has allowed to accurately track how sales strategies are changing. How these strategies are changing. So this in-depth analysis on the sales teams, which has picked up the insights and trends from how the team's experiences and activities have resulted to their success. So post-pandemic or that is the post-COVID, the practical ways of how they have boosted the sales productivity. It were all the biggest challenges: product differentiation, limited buyer attention spares, remote work management. Every ways where all that is what all that drives to sales productivity in the post-COVID world. Especially increase the adoption of existing, what all the tools existing that has been adopted, embracing the new ways of selling. What are all the new ways of selling? Social selling, hyper-personalized selling. In B2B sales, if you take this hyper-personalized selling, if you know that it means tailoring your pitch to a prospect's industry, businesses and pain points. 85% of customers said that they expect brands to demonstrate a deep understanding of their business and sales as a value added. So this COVID, in the post-COVID world, coaching is even more important. If you take the Geoff Perfect, he's a startup advisor. He explained that sales people need to get much better at picking up cues of body language over video conference calls, asking great probing questions, active listening, and reconfirming what they heard. Creating learning opportunities, developing the virtual training programs, and also holding the reinforcement sessions. When coaching is ongoing effect, the team has more opportunities to learn from successful managers, representatives, and ultimately, what is that? The close for more sales. So all this and much more. Sales technology, if you take the digital adoption platforms, which helped drive the sales productivity post COVID-19. Sales technology, it fuels the new sales model through personalization, automation, and analytics. But without adoption, even the best sales tools, they fail to deliver value. We have to consider this digital adoption platforms that help you to close the gap between what technology can do and the impact it has on the teamwork. In 2020, if you take most sales teams, they used at least 10 or 15 sales tools, and they plan to add even more to their stack. But 30% of the teams had a clear plan to integrate those tools into their workflow. So all this digital adoption platforms and the more fact-based and actionable goals, the more likely they are to drive the sales results. As we say that, what is that? For example, an example I will give you and wind up. For example, if you take, you need to have a next meeting schedule for each and every then open opportunities and be in touch with at least 3 contacts at each account where you have every active opportunity. So the goal is based on a clear set of actions and the factors which are responsible for or to control it. The more fact-based and actionable your goals are, the more likely they are to drive the sales results. That is what we have seen in the clearly defined goals and metrics. Realistic, actionable goals that really motivate the team and boost the sales productivity. On the other hand, if you take the fuzzy aspirational goals, promote confusion and frustration. So when setting the sales goals, especially in the post-COVID time, it is not that pulling the number out of thin air. We need to grow 120%. Every year we have to think about that when a next pandemic or next, what is that big blow we are going to face, we don't know. So we need to grow 120%. It's not 100%, 120% coming years. Instead, focus on the facts, historical conversion rates, and how much, what is going to be the average productivity. All that we need to see. How we are going to do this. How we are going to face this post-COVID, how we are facing it. Everything is positive, and it is on the positive note. Everything is driving possibly that we can do it. So adopting new ways of selling, it has a direct impact on every sales productivity. So whether it is contextual training, which reduces the onboard timing for employees and increase the adoption of sales tools like if you take Salesforce and Oracle CRM, better adoption ultimately makes the sales tools more useful and drives productivity. So with that, I end my session on the sales scenario post-COVID. Everything is positive, and let us stay positive and take our economy to greater heights. Bye-bye. This is Gandhimati Balaji signing off from Skill Edge. Tata, bye-bye.